Naomi Campbell was there and had an unforgettable story. She told us that she had been awakened in the night by knocking at her door. She opened the door to find two or three men, I do not recall how many, who presented her with a large diamond which they said was from Charles Taylor. Detail number one. Did you tell her it was a large diamond?
No, I did not tell the size of the diamonds. I don't believe I even told them how many. I don't believe I even showed them.
Now, the other reason I'm asking you that question is this. Carol White, in interview notes dated the 13th of May of this year, told the prosecutors this. The witness does not recall if Miss Campbell told anyone in the guest house about the diamonds. Now this. But knowing Miss Campbell, she feels it unlikely she would have kept it to herself. That is, you're the kind of person who's going to come down to breakfast, just like Mia Farrow said, and start boasting about the gift. Do you follow?
I understand. I'm someone that lives my life, but I'm not about showing what I have.
Now, does it surprise you that both Mia Farrow and Carol White appear to be adopting this same attitude towards you, that you're this boastful individual?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Why not?
I mean, I have no criticism of either one of them, but I'm not, I mean, what they have to say is what they have to say. You really have to ask them.
Well, the reason why I'm asking you is this, you see, and I promise you, it is not my intention to venture into the legal dispute between you and Carol White. But listen to this. Again from the notes of Carol White's interview with the prosecution. The witness is currently in litigation against Miss Campbell over a contract dispute. The witness did not even know Mr. Taylor was on trial until her attorney, in the breach of contract matter, contacted her back in January or February after seeing something in the news about Naomi Campbell and a blood diamond. He asked the witness if she knew anything about that, and the witness told him the story of what had happened. Now this. He, that is the lawyer, urged her, that is Carol White, to come forward because it might be important. Now, why do you think this story about alleged diamonds in South Africa might be important to this woman who is suing you?
Well, for obvious reasons, which I don't want to speak about here, and I will leave it to the courts in New York to deal with.
But Miss Campbell, it's quite clear. This is
Well, you can read between the lines, yes.
This is a woman who has a powerful motive to lie about you.
It's someone I trusted and worked with, and someone I no longer trust and no longer work with.
Someone, you were nodding your head earlier, but the nod doesn't appear on the transcript. This is someone with a powerful motive to lie about you.
Correct.
Now, I want to give you the opportunity, Miss Campbell, because perhaps you have never seen they're not statements, the accounts given by either Mia Farrow or Carol White. So let me just take a moment with you. And let's start first of all with Carol White's account. As I say, this interview was conducted with her on the 13th of May of this year in London. She first of all sets out the nature of her relationship with you. Witness first met Naomi Campbell when Miss Campbell was 19 years old.
Mr. Griffiths, where are you reading from?
I'm reading from the interview notes with, it's not in my cross-examination bundle. This is part of the disclosure from, this is an annex to the application made by the prosecution for leave to call 3 additional rebuttal witnesses.
Well, go ahead, please.
Witness first met Naomi Campbell when Miss Campbell was 19 years old, and the witness became her agent from approximately 1992 until 2006, when they began working together. Miss Campbell's home agency was Elite Model Management in New York. The witness was with Elite Premier Agency in London and worked very hard to promote Miss Campbell, becoming the biggest billing agent in the world for her and what is known in the industry as her mother agent. The 2 women became quite close over the years, and the witness often traveled with Miss Campbell, even if the job was another agent's job, acting a bit like a chaperone to Miss Campbell. One such trip was to South Africa for the inauguration of the Blue Train, which was similar to the Orient Express in South Africa, traveling from Pretoria to Cape Town. Miss Campbell was invited by President Nelson Mandela to ride the train to help raise funds for the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. Miss Campbell did a lot of work for the Children's Fund and became a member, which meant she gave $50,000 a year to the fund. Is that correct?
That's correct, plus fundraising.
Thank you. The witness and Miss Campbell flew into Johannesburg for the event. They stayed at the presidential guest house in Pretoria before the train trip. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So she was staying in the same building?
She was staying like 2 doors down from my room.
And then the witness goes on to describe the premises, which I need not bother with, and mentions that there were guards in dress uniform during the day. And then this. That night, Mr. Mandela had a dinner at the guest house, which the witness and Miss Campbell attended. Also in attendance was Charles Taylor. The witness remembers being told by Miss Campbell that Gracia Michelle, Mr. Mandela's future wife, was annoyed that Charles Taylor was invited to the dinner. The witness was fairly certain that Miss Michelle did not attend the dinner. Now, did you tell Carol White that Nelson Mandela's wife was annoyed that Charles Taylor had been invited to the dinner?
No, I did not. That's something I wouldn't know, and I don't believe that happened.
Because you'd never met the man before, had you?
No.
You knew nothing at all about him.
I didn't know who he was, and I don't think that someone would discuss that with Carol White.
And quite bluntly, Carol White is lying about this, isn't she?
Well, I'm closer to them, and I didn't know. I'm not sure how she would know that.
But you didn't tell her that, did you?
No, I did not.
Then this. The witness remembers that there were probably about 8 to 10 people sitting at their table at the dinner. Mr. Taylor sat next to Miss Campbell. Is that true?
No, I remember Mr. Jones was next to me, and he was on the other side of Mr. Jones, and I was on my right, Mr. Mandela.
Mr. Taylor sat next to Miss Campbell. On Miss Campbell's other side was one of Mr. Taylor's government officials, perhaps his defense minister, but the witness was not sure. So she's got you sandwiched between Charles Taylor and a member of his entourage, not between Nelson Mandela and Quincy Jones.
That's not where I sat. I sat next to Mr. Mandela.
But hold on, Miss Campbell. it gets even better than that. Because later on in the statement, Miss White says this: the witness, that's Carol White, said that throughout the dinner, Miss Campbell and Mr. Taylor were mildly flirtatious with each other. The witness heard Mr. Taylor tell Miss Campbell that he was going to send her diamonds. Taylor and his people were staying some distance away, so it was arranged that he would send some men back with the gift. Is that true or false?
That's not true at all.
It's a lie, isn't it?
I was sat next to Mr. Mandela, and the conversations, if there was a conversation about diamonds, it wasn't to me. We spoke about what I was doing for the Children's Fund. I remember Mr. Mandela explained to Mr. Taylor what I did for the Children's Fund.
Because this morning you've already told us that you did not specifically speak to Charles Taylor that evening, did you?
I spoke in general. I was interested about Liberia. I never heard of it before. And he said he was the president of Liberia.
But you flirting with Charles Taylor, that's a complete lie, isn't it?
As I said before, when I'm with Mr. Mandela, and I think everyone in the world feels the same way, my attention and focus is with him. And it's an honor to be in his presence and to be with him in his house.
Forgive me if I press you a little further on this, Miss Campbell, but I would like a straight answer. This is a lie, isn't it?
Correct.
Thank you. Now this. Do you remember me asking you right at the outset whether you gave Charles Taylor your telephone number?
Correct.
Listen to this. Miss Campbell seemed excited about the diamonds, and she kept talking about them with the witness. That's with Carol White. After this dinner, Miss Campbell and Mr. Taylor were somehow in communication.
No, I didn't have any communication at all.
So again, this is a lie,
And I
isn't
didn't
it?
give my phone number.
Again, this is a lie, isn't it?
It's not accurate, no.
Nodding the head doesn't go down on the record.
No, it's not.
It's a lie, isn't it?
Correct.
Thank you. Then this. That night, it got to be very late, and all of the guests had retired to their rooms. The witness heard something hitting her window that sounded like pebbles, and she looked outside and saw two men. The men said they had something for Miss Campbell. The witness did not know how they knew which room to alert, or if they just happened to pick a window that turned out to be hers. She alerted Miss Campbell, who was excited and wanted to open the doors. But the witness was nervous to let the men in, as all the other guests had retired, and there seemed to be no guards or staff present. After looking unsuccessfully for any guards, the witness, that's Carol White, let the men in herself. Miss Campbell was in her nightdress, but had a big cashmere shawl around her. The witness gave the two men Coca-Colas and sat them down, and sat with them and Miss Campbell. The men gave Miss Campbell a scrubby piece of paper, which Miss Campbell opened. Inside were what looked to be about 6 small greyish pebbles, but they could have been 5 to 8. The witness didn't really remember. The witness thought Miss Campbell was disappointed because she thought she was going to get a big shiny diamond, and these just looked like pebbles. Is there any truth in any of that?
I did think they looked like pebbles, but she was not with me when I received them. I was in my bed sleeping. I do travel with a cashmere shawl, which she knows. The thing about the windows, I don't know about that.
But let's just
and
take...
I recall it being cloth, but it's 13 years ago.
Let's just take it in stages. Who opened the door to let them to